Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Psych 300 for week three. My name, again, as always, is Dr. Sellers, and I'm here and I'm happy to help you through this process in any way you need. Um, this week, in week three, we will be covering chapter five, which is on psychological measurement. And I don't know, like, all of this stuff is important, but, like, for my money, the topics we cover in measurement are maybe the most important or like tied for the most important topics that we will cover, because in psychology, if you don't know what you're measuring or you don't measure it correctly, then all of your effort is wasted, right? Like if you can't accurately assess the things that you are trying to research, then what's the point? And so this week is about how we measure things effectively and in the way that we want to, such that we are confident that we are measuring the things that we want to measure. So, week three, chapter five, psychological measurement. Some of the major topics that we're going to talk about um, are operational definitions. That's a huge one. So essentially, imagine if I asked you, "How's the weather today?" Right? What's the weather like? And you said, "It's a 7 out of 10." I have no idea what that means, right? You know what that means, right? You know in your mind what a 7 out of 10 for what is the weather like means, but I don't know what that means. There's no operational definition of what a 7 out of 10 for weather even means. Is it, do you like it cloudy? Do you like it rainy? Do you like it hot? Like, do you like it windy? Like, I don't even know what that seven stands for. And so part of the process of measurement is understanding how we can turn behaviors or thoughts or cognitions into numbers that mean something, and everyone knows what that number means. So, to give a psychology example, if I was trying to define or measure happiness, I have to understand the construct of happiness. So, like, happiness is, this range of positive emotions that people can experience, right? Or something like that. That's conceptually what the construct of happiness is. But I need a way to measure it, to put it into numbers so that I can do stats with the data. So, and now I need to define for me in my research what happiness means. Is it a scale where people respond like 1 to 7? Am I observing their behavior, the number of times they smile, the number of times they laugh? Am I giving them a survey of 10, 20, 30 questions to assess their happiness? Like, we all know sort of what happiness means, but what am I doing in the here and now to actually assess and define and operationalize happiness? So, this chapter is about this sort of all important idea of how do we move from these higher order concepts down to these very specific data oriented definitions of behavior and thoughts and feelings and cognitions. In addition to that, maybe the other most important topic is the idea of reliability and validity. So, reliability is the idea that if I give you my measurement again and again and again and again, your score will remain constant if it should. So, if I'm assessing your happiness and I assess your happiness today at 10 a.m., um, I would assume that the score would be pretty similar if I assessed it at noon, and if I assessed it at 2 p.m., and if I assessed it at 5 p.m., unless something dramatic happened during your day to make you unhappy. Um, so the reliability, the idea that if you're happy, if my measurement judges you to be happy today, it should probably judge you to be happy tomorrow, if I'm looking at long term state dependent happiness. If I'm looking at intelligence, right? Like, how intelligent you are should not change day to day. My measurement should be reliable. If you got an IQ of 1200 on Monday, you should get an IQ of around 1200 on Wednesday. And if it's wildly different, then it's probably an issue with my measurement, right? Your intelligence did not change dramatically from Monday to Wednesday. The issue is probably my tool, my measurement. So that's reliability. How consistent over time are our measurements? The other concept that's really important for measurement is validity. It's the idea that you're actually measuring the thing that you think you're measuring. So, is it a valid measurement? This goes back to happiness, um, for example. So, if I want to measure happiness and I assess how many times you smile in an hour, like, does that mean you're happy? Is it not the case that people who are sad can smile, right? So, like, the number of smiles in an hour might not be a valid measurement of happiness. I could use it, I could do the study, I could do the measurement, but that doesn't make it a good measurement of happiness. Just because I do it doesn't mean it's valid. It doesn't mean it's a good way to measure happiness. So these dual concepts, reliability and validity, are the core of what makes something a good measurement. We want things to be both reliable and we want them to be valid. Um, so that's generally speaking the broad brushstrokes of the content that you're going to be covering this week. We're back to a little bit of an easy week as far as assignments are concerned. All you really have to do this week are your discussion posts. So on Sunday, you have your self generated discussion post that's due. And then by Tuesday, you have your two peer responses. That's all we've got for this week. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. Shoot me an email, reach out to me, and I'm happy to help. Have a good one.